Now, I know a lot of you out there are well aware that I love the Google Pixel phone and the Pixel Book. I'm just huge fans of Pixel hardware in general, but I feel a little bit differently about the Pixel Buds. Of course, there's tons of people out there that are just like, you're biased against Google, we get it. Why do you have to beat every part of the Pixel team? And part of it is me being an Apple sheep, yes, but part of it is also just common sense that I don't understand. Okay, so certain reviewers out there are just now getting the Google Pixel Buds. Since the Pixel 2 ditched the headphone jack, Google did the same thing Apple did and included an adapter, and also introduced a pair of wireless earbuds starting at $159. Yeah, they got the exact price point right too, which is fine. That's fine, whatever. A lot of critics are right now reviewing them and just now getting them, and the reviews have been pretty mixed. I've seen some people really like them, some people really don't, but the way I kind of look at them, because there's lots of different approaches to making wireless headphones. You can have them be truly wireless like AirPods, or you can have them be semi-wireless where you have one cord connecting the two but no cord connecting the buds themselves to the phone. Some prefer one way, some don't like the AirPods route because it means that if one falls out, it won't stop. It will just go directly to the ground, and if you're using those actual wired ones, they will not fall to the ground. They will fall out and you can put it back in. They will catch themselves. Or when you're not wearing any of them, you can just wear them like a necklace. I can understand both. There's pros and cons to both. Apple also owns Beats, which provided a wide selection of wireless headphones, both over-ear and earbuds that are connected. I've tried the Beats X headphones. While they're very good, for me, they're not as good as the AirPods, and other people out there prefer over-ear. There's Beats Studio headphones, there's Beats Solo headphones. Most people like them, but you know, different approaches. And with the Pixel Buds, I feel like their approach was to take the worst things about both parties. So for instance, one con of AirPods, because while they're my favorite pair of headphones ever, there's definitely problems with them, and I'm not afraid to admit that. One thing you miss out on truly wireless headphones is you don't really get that remote clicker on the device itself. Back when we used Lightning earpods, or even before that headphone jack earpods, you just had this remote built in. It was very handy. You could change volume with it, you could pause with it, you could skip and even rewind and even access Siri. Fairly functional remote, right? With the switch to AirPods, now there's not some easy thing to click and tinker with to change the song or change the volume. That's no longer there. The more complicated solution that most Apple sheep have resulted to is using the Now Playing feature on our Apple Watch. So now, whenever we're listening to music with our AirPods in, instead of reaching here to change volume or to change the music, we simply look at our watch. We can use the digital crown to change volume. We can, of course, tap on the screen. That's there. But of course, I understand that's not something everyone can do. You don't say, no remote on your headphones. Simply buy a $160 pair of earbuds and a $400 wearable smartwatch. Problem solved, right? Like, well, yeah, I mean, kind of, but again, that's a lot of money. Thing about the Pixel Buds is they don't have a remote despite having a cable connecting the two. And most of the time when there is a cable connecting the two headphones, there's a remote somewhere. Or of course, you can do the Apple route on the AirPods, which is tapping them, accessing Siri, and then telling Siri what to do. But that's definitely a slower process, and I actually don't know anyone who's ever said, tap, tap, Siri, turn the volume down. I don't see that ever. And incredibly originally, the Pixel Buds also. When you tap them, they activate the Google Assistant, and then through there you can tell them how to do things. So I guess they copied the dumb part about the AirPods. But also another design approach is the idea of keeping them both together. So there are advantages to this. See, one complication that some people don't like, I don't really mind, but some people don't like that when you have two separate AirPods, charging them gets a little bit complicated because you don't want to charge each of them individually. Therefore, the solution is to include this charging case. Now, I find this very, very portable, but a lot of people find it very, very easy to lose. And it's very, very small, which I like. You know, it can fit in your pocket easily, but at the same time, I've known several people who have left them in taxis or Ubers or have forgotten where they put them, and since they're so small, yes, it's very easy to lose track of if you're not careful with them. One advantage to most Bluetooth headphones that have a wire connecting them is that you don't need the charging case because you can just charge them either through one of the buds or with the cord itself. That's what Beats did with the Beats X headphones. They have a lightning port built into the cable. In fact, one thing that was kind of interesting about the Beats X was that the cable was predeterminately bent in a certain direction, so you knew exactly how to put them on. And with that thicker portion of the cable that supported the lightning ports, it also supported batteries. It's like a lot of people were concerned when AirPods first came out that this can only play back for 5 hours. That's not a terribly long time if you listen to headphones a lot. But the compensation for it was that the charging case it came with could support up to 24 hours of playback. And that, of course, makes it okay because that's really the only place your AirPods should be when you're not listening listening to music. Beats X compensated with that by being able to store extra battery life in the cable itself, along with the lightning port. The thing about the Pixel Buds is they have to be charged via a charging case. So even though they have a wire connecting them, they're not taking advantage of the fact that, you know, with that extra volume, with that extra mass, you could have a plug, you could have a charge port. And by far one of the most read complaints I've seen for the Pixel Buds is trying to put in a pair of headphones that have a big wire attaching them into a charging case is incredibly complicated. A lot of them are saying, like, you have to get the pods in there just right, and then you have to wind the cable up into the case and then seal the case. And on top of that, we're seeing that the Pixel Buds case is bigger than the AirPods case, so it's not as portable. And I'm overall just confused by why they took the worst parts of both parties. If you're gonna have pods that are connected by a wire, I think that in that wire you could have more functionality, you can store more battery, you can store that charge port, and then you don't have to have a case that you try to twirl up these cords into. I just find it incredibly impractical, and it just once again proves my point that I don't understand the Pixel hardware team. It's just like completely devoid of all logic. It's like, I'm not really trying to be biased against them here. I literally just don't get it. I don't understand this. I don't see the advantage to the approach they took. So if you guys have answers, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.